Have you ever wanted to go vertical on your OBS? Or maybe you actually wanted a secondary horizontal canvas for a different streaming service? Then this plugin is for you. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Now before we get into anything, I just want to disclose that I do actually work for the company Aitum that creates this plugin. However, I don't do any work on the plugin itself. I mostly focus on the automation app that we do and also the website side of things. This plugin is literally the brainchild of Exeldro and Dust on the team, and trust me, it is absolute chef's kiss. I don't have the brain power to be able to do anything like this for OBS. So the first thing you want to do is head to aitum.tv/vertical. Smash that yellow button and then download the installer. You don't need to drag across any files. OBS is done with that for these days gone past now. Next, you're just going to load up OBS. So here we are inside OBS, and we've got our vertical canvas here on the right hand side. I've got my vertical scenes transitions down here, and then I've got my vertical scenes and vertical sources along the bottom. Now if you can't find these docs yourself, just click up on the docs on the left hand side and you're going to see vertical scenes, vertical sources, vertical scene transitions, and vertical. If you want to hide it, you can easily do so by doing that, clicking it, and then you can show it again whether or not. The vertical scene transitions are very handy as you can actually choose different transitions from your main horizontal canvas between each other. So as you can see here, we've already set up two vertical scenes. We've got our vertical gameplay and vertical just chatting. Now I can't have these exact same names because this is how OBS works, because they're both scenes. You're able to combine them together in your inside your settings of vertical, but we'll get to that in a little bit. But what we're going to do right now is we're going to add some sources and link up our scenes together so they don't go out of sync. So here we got vertical gameplay. What we're going to do is we're going to quickly add, say for example, our audio input and our audio output captures, our desktop and microphone. So we got that. Let's add in our video capture device, which is our video camera up here. So we're just going to make sure this is 100% to the width. We can just, there we go. And then we're going to add in our actual streaming, our desktop display, our gaming, our gaming scene. So we got that there. We can just right click on it, say transform, and then center horizontally. Right, and then now we're going to do our just chatting, which is the exact same again. We can go audio input capture, our microphone, output capture, we go for the desktop, and then on top of that as well, we'll add in our video capture device. Now, as you can see, the very handy thing here is the fact that when we have been adding in our sources already into vertical, if they exist on the horizontal canvas, you can literally just add them in from that. They exist already on OBS, which is very handy to have. Now we want to make sure that these never go out of sync. So when you right click on your scenes, what you're going to do is you're going to see an option for linked scenes. So we're going to say our vertical gameplay goes with gameplay and our vertical just chatting goes with just chatting. Now you must remember too, when you switch between your vertical scenes, this does not synchronize up your canvases together. What you then want to do is make sure you always select the scenes from the actual OBS scene list for your horizontal canvas. You can do this through your Stream Deck, or if you're using hotkeys, you can do it through that. So now when we're swapping between just chatting and gameplay, both of these are going hand in hand and they'll never be out of sync, which is freaking handy to have. But now onto the settings of the vertical canvas. So here we are with a little pop-up that comes in with just the general settings to begin with. We've got the resolution of our canvas. At the top of that, we're going to have a couple of vertical ones here, which is obviously 9:16 ratio. And then we've got a 1080 by 1350, which is for Facebook Live, I believe. And then beneath that, we actually have our 16:9 ratios, which is much more similar to our horizontal canvas. So if we put 1920 by 1080, then we actually have a secondary horizontal canvas, which, say for example, if you're streaming to Kick and Twitch at the same time, but you wanted two separate canvases from one to the other, you can literally do this by having this on OBS like so. So we're just going to go back in. I'm just going to select to make sure that it's only vertical that we're using here. Right, in here we've also got the option to show vertical scenes in the main scene list, which basically means when we click on that, say OK, they're actually available here in the main scene list, and you can also select them on the vertical scenes. However, I don't like having that. I like keeping them separate, and I like having them nice and neat like so. Our virtual camera as well, we can also select whether or not it's the vertical canvas, both the canvases, or the main canvas. We can also change our audio bitrate as well, but generally you don't really need to touch this too much. Down here we've got our backtrack. Now our backtrack is pretty much what you would say is Twitch clips. It's basically clips and records your backtrack of your vertical canvas. This basically means that if you have this on your OBS, you do not have to worry about the quality that you're going to be taking from your live stream on Twitch in order to have decent vertical clips to be able to post on short form media like TikTok, Instagram Reels, or even Twitch itself. So down here, I've just selected it to be 30 seconds right now, which basically means that it'll be running for the past 30 seconds. And I've got down here save backtrack hotkey, which is Alt-Shift-B. You've also got the hotkeys for starting it and stopping it, but because I've already got it running while it's streaming and recording, this means that I don't need to worry about these two. And as you can see here on the bottom right as well, we've got the blue icon, which basically is showing that it's running. And say, for example, we've got a save backtrack hotkey, so it's Alt-Shift-B. Oh, forgive me, my keyboard's in a funky state. There we go. We just had backtrack saved, recording saved. And if we open this up now, it's Alt-Shift-B. You've also got the hotkeys for starting it and stopping it, but because I've already got it running, that's our backtrack already saved onto our hard drive at higher quality than you would ever get on a live streaming platform. Right, moving on, we got our streaming settings here. So at the top here, if you're planning on live streaming from the vertical canvas, you can select, you can basically input your server's name, your server, and your key. You can actually do this multiple times. You can have multiple ones. If you want to make sure that they're not going to stream at the same time, you can actually disable them as well, which is very handy to have. Down here, you get what your video bitrate is as well. You've also got the option to start and stop streaming when the main OBS starts and stops streaming. So if you're clicking start stream down here or via your stream deck, this means that your vertical canvas will automatically start streaming out to your service, which is very handy, say if you're using YouTube or something like that, although it will take your defaults from the last stream, which is slightly a bit annoying. Down here as well, you've also got the options for your advanced encoding settings. Now here I've got my audio track set to number 2, and the reason behind that is, say for example, if I'm maybe playing some music on Twitch that might not be allowed over on YouTube Shorts or TikTok, I have set it up so that my VOD track is number 2 through my main OBS settings. And the way that you do that is if you go to File and Settings, and then go to Output, make sure that you have Advanced Select on the top there, and underneath here, you're going to make sure your Twitch VOD track is number 2. So anything that isn't selected for number 2 is not going to be output to your VOD track or your different tracks. You can do this by right-clicking on Advanced Audio Properties in your mixer and selecting which ones you don't want output on your actual Twitch VOD track. And because of that, whenever we do streaming to a different service, we can make sure the music is also not included in that, which is very handy. We got our different video encoders. I'm using an AMD graphics card. You're probably using an NVIDIA card, so you'll have NVENC there for you being able to use whatever you want. You got your rate control. I highly recommend sticking with constant bitrate because you're live streaming. Your preset seems okay, might be better, a little bit faster, probably too slow, very likely to be slow. You know, it's just the different presets for your live stream, and obviously your bitrate too. Remember, if you are streaming to YouTube Shorts, you are going to have the option of a higher bitrate. I will put a link in the description down below to some different services of what they recommend for being the bitrate for streaming. You can also, finally as well, you can also add in what your stream delay as well, in case you're running the exact same on your OBS. Now, as I was mentioning before with the backtrack, the way we can figure that is through recording. We can sit there and actually select what the video bitrate is going to be and everything like that too, but that's going to be down in the actual OBS set, your main advanced settings down here if you choose to go out for a different audio track. If that is just using your main OBS settings, then you can just select what your video bitrate's up there and that's it. If you're going to be recording the whole time, you can actually split the video after a certain amount of time or split the size just to make sure that the files are saved out and you're not dealing with big clunky files. And yet again, much like the streaming and the backtrack, you also have your hotkey preferences here. Yet again, the same as recording. If you don't want anything inside your backtrack, make sure that you're going to select audio track 2 for anything to do with such as copyrighted music. Rate control, yet again, constant bitrate, preset, quality, high quality balance, speed. You don't need to worry too much about this. Now, I also want to recommend too that within keyframe intervals, if I remember correctly, YouTube does actually suggest that you have 2 keyframe intervals as well for 2 seconds. And that's all there pretty much is to this vertical plugin for OBS. It's very handy, especially in terms of creating offline content to be able to post onto short form websites such as TikTok, Instagram, or even Facebook, and on top of that as well, YouTube Shorts. And now another neat trick within the streaming aspect of things. Because TikTok doesn't give out stream keys to everyone unless of course you're usually through an agency, how do you use this canvas with TikTok? Well, that is where the virtual camera comes in handy. So say for example, we've got our virtual camera here being vertical. We're going to click on OK. And inside here, we got our little icon for the virtual camera. So we're going to start that now. Next, what we want to do is actually load up TikTok Live. Okay, right, here we go then. So as you can see here, we actually have the canvas within TikTok Live. What I've done is I've set up a new camera item within my scene, and that's going to be my OBS virtual camera. I've obviously flipped it as well, just pretty much because by default, OBS virtual cameras, for some reason, they come out flipped, but you can flip it back in the software itself. And yeah, that's it. For example, now if we actually decide to choose to go between just chatting, and go back to TikTok Studio, this now automatically switches between the two, which is very, very handy to have. And you only need the one canvas on TikTok Live Studio to do this. And you're only going to be using OBS to encode stuff at a very high rate in comparison to TikTok, reducing the strain on your computer if you're running both services at the same time. And that's all there is to it. I hope that I managed to cover pretty much everything I could in a basis video for this plugin. I will put resources down below for each streaming service for what they recommend, say for example keyframes or resolution or bitrate as well to set your stream to. In the future, I will do more videos as well, maybe including another plugin that we supply that goes perfectly hand in hand with this vertical plugin. But you'll have to wait for that to come out, and if you want to see it, please subscribe to the channel, and if you like this video as well, please like the video. But until then, I'll catch you in the next one. I'll see you.